What's going on, boys? Back at the desk. This will be the first official video for the C.S.A.Hunley. I had to go back to do some research because we had questions, or I had a question about whether there were portholes in this or not. And yes, there were. There were two over where the men sat. They sat on one. All the guys sat on one side. And from what I can find, there are two little. I would call them skylights. They don't look like they're any more than maybe 3 or 4 inches around. If you go and look at the Hunley, they are refurbishing it, or whatever we want to call it, after they got it off the bottom of the ocean. But if you go to there's a website they have, and you can watch them, and you can see where these holes are up top, Solomon. So I gotta drill them out and put these those little things in. The 4 that are at the top, and there are 2 on either side that I have to drill these conning towers out. So I think before I even glue this together, I'm going to drill it all out and get those little portholes in there, and then glue it together. And I think that's going to be the way to go with that. Now, as far as this screw, there they are right there at the top left. I'm going to make that first. And Solomon had suggested that I build that first. And I was thinking of doing that anyway, but once he said it, I'm like, yeah, I think that's the way to go. So I got to try and see if I can build this thing. I don't know how. I got a little center hub for it. There's the center hub, right where my finger is. That's what I got to try to glue these 3 fins on. These 3 fins, those are what I got to try to glue onto that little center hub. And they don't go on straight, they go on at an angle. So I gotta figure that out. And then I have to figure out, because I have to do that first in order to make this part that goes around it. Those are photo etch. So I have to build this first in order to get an idea of the circumference, so I can find either a piece of dowel, or Solomon also said maybe a piece of PVC or something that's close to it, so I can get the bend, because that's what these are. Piece where my thumb is, those two big square rectangular pieces, those have to have a radius put into them. So yeah, but I think before I do even get close to that, I'm gonna mess around with those lights or windows, whatever you want to call. And then I got these two hatch covers. I got photo etch hinges that I have to supply. There they are, right there. I'll have to dig into my brass rod and come up with a little piece. See if I can get these things to open, or at least one of them to open. It'd be nice. If not, then I'll just have to glue everything together and stick the brass rod in there. But we shall see. We shall see. I don't know how good I am, so this is all pretty kind of small stuff with my my big sausage-like fingers. Good thing I'm not a proctologist. Oh, anyway. So, and I think I want to. I was also looking at how this spa goes on. They only gave me 1/2. Here's the front. And you can see where it goes on the bottom there. But they only give you, from what I can see, they only give me 1/2 of it. So I may have to make, yeah, there it is right there. So I might have to make another one of those. Because it's going to look pretty stupid with just one thing hanging out the front when you know it wrapped around. You know, it had to have a bolt that went through it to hold it on there, onto the front of it. And then I got to figure out also, I've seen a couple of ways that the spa was held on. According to this thing, it was all they just hung a rope from the front here. But I've been looking, and there was a looks like they had something like that with a rope going from that to the spa. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on that. But yeah, I think I'm going to work on drilling the holes and see if I can get those little lights popped in there without losing. Any bets I lose? Let's see, how many are there? 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I got like 16 or 18. Any bets? Any bets? Over, under? But at least I can take it apart and try to sneak them in from the back. I got drill bits that small, so I'll just take my time and go from there. But yeah, the Corvette, I got her all taped up. I just put the mirrors on it, so I'm waiting for them to dry. Everything's taped. Once the mirrors are nice and dry, maybe after supper I'll start painting. But yeah, that's where I am. So, but those were little board holes, Solomon. Like I said, little skylights or something to let the light in. I'm sure if there weren't, it would have been awful dark in there. But all right, guys. If you do get a chance, though, go check this site out. If you're into military history or even just American history, you know. So, but we covered all the guys that were in that from all that time back. They found all the bodies. So, all right, boys. Peace out.